This video goes out to Mike the Cop. And for all my subscribers, I want to tell you a little bit about Mike the Cop. He's a police officer with a YouTube channel that does videos about high-profile police events, and explains police procedure, and tells stories about his experiences as a cop. There are some other good police channels I like to follow, such as Officer 401 and Donut Operator. They all have their own personalities and themes, such as Officer 401 likes to talk about the things he's seen and done on the job. Donut Operator is more focused on covering police shootings and giving a breakdown. I really love these channels because these guys are funny as hell, very entertaining, and I think most importantly, they humanize the badge. The media and groups like Black Lives Matter and Antifa are hell-bent on twisting every police incident out of context to paint a picture of police as white supremacists with a license to murder. Police and public relations are at an all-time low. And to see the human side of these cops helps to remind people that cops are just people like me and you. They're just doing their job. They're not out to get you. Unless you're a very bad lawbreaker who's endangering the lives of others, then they might be out to get you. They're not trying to fill some imaginary ticket quota, or ruin your life, or just bully people around. They're just trying to keep the roads safe. And I hope the departments of Mike and Officer 401 are proud of these guys for humanizing the badge in the way that no fictional Hollywood movie or scripted public service announcement could ever do. You should really check out their channels. I think they're awesome guys. Anyhow, Mike the Cop was talking about why do cops touch your taillight? Or do they?
What's up, guys? Mike the Cop. Why do cops touch the taillight of your car on a traffic stop? Or do they actually even do that? The video that popped up when I did that search was from Brightside, and it was called Why Do Police Touch the Taillight? It's extremely important. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to title this video, Why Police Don't Touch the Taillight. It's extremely insignificant. I have never been taught to touch the taillight on a traffic stop. I have never touched, on purpose, the taillight of any vehicle on a traffic stop. I was not trained in the academy to touch the taillight on a traffic stop. I don't know a single officer that was ever taught to touch the taillight of a vehicle on a traffic stop. And so I'm not sure where all the information comes from, what officers they spoke to make this video. Maybe they did. I even talked to some old school retired cops about this, and all of them unequivocally have told me they were never taught to do that, even if some of them did in the past.
Well, Mike, you've witnessed this happen in this old video called Stephanie is the New Karen. In this video you are commenting on, you witnessed the cop touch the taillight twice.
Have a seat in the car.
Here we go.
And I just called her, she told me.
Okay. Okay.
Back to crying.
She went back to crying.
He did it twice, right in front of you. I thought you cops were supposed to be observant. Guess who isn't making detective? But here are a couple of other videos of it also happening. This next one is funny. A rookie cop forgets to put his car in park.
How you doing? All right. Good. You know why I pulled you over? Yeah, you can't. Oh.
Man, I feel sorry for that cop. I'm sure if I really wanted to take the time, I could find a lot of other videos of cops doing this. Not forgetting to put their car in park, but touching the taillight. I just searched for a traffic stop on YouTube, and went through a few dozen videos, and was only able to come up with those two. But I know I've seen cops do this dozens of times. So it's been established, some cops do this, and the fact it happens so many times in videos that don't have anything to do with touching taillights in the title, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that it's pretty common. I'm not saying the average cop does it, I'm just saying this is a real thing. But that leads us to the question of, why is it happening? I googled this, and the first 6 websites that came up all said the same thing, which were the points covered in the Brightside video. To startle the driver, to leave fingerprints, and just habit, ritual, tradition passed down from cop to cop. However, none of these websites give a source. One of these websites even dispels the myths that it's to check to see if there's a body in the trunk, or to determine if the engine of the car is still running. They claim that those are myths and then give the official answers, which I just covered. Which makes it sound like they got their information from an authority, but they never cite where they got the information. I think the idea of startling a driver is pretty stupid. What cop wants to deliberately create fear, anger, or frustration at a simple traffic stop? The more emotionally distraught the suspect, the more difficult it is to get them to comply. Now, talking to a suspect in an interrogation room, well, that's a completely different circumstance. That's not applicable here. And besides, if you wanted to startle the driver, as you pointed out, there are other and better ways of doing this.
Now, if the purpose of this was to frighten the driver, listen, there are a lot of easier ways to frighten a driver as a cop than touching their stupid taillight. Driver's license registration.
And if you really want to scare them, put your hands on your gun. Or if you really, really want to scare them, stand there, put on some latex gloves, and then pull out a bottle of KY jelly. Let me tell you, that'd scare a driver so bad it'd make an atheist start praying. Now, the part about leaving a fingerprint. I keep hearing that before body cameras, which are kind of new, and dash cams, which didn't really become a thing until the 1990s, they did this to leave evidence that they encountered this car, in case they were killed and, whatever. But isn't it standard procedure to radio dispatch to get a report on the license plate of the car you're pulling over? I mean, maybe it's not. I'm not a cop. I don't know that. But it seems to me like before you got out of your car and approached, you'd want to phone in dispatch that you just pulled over a car, so that if anything happens, be on the lookout for that make, model, and license plate. So how old are radios? Well, radios were common in the 1950s, but not so common when you go past that, or before that. So if this is an old police ritual that has been passed down from generation, it has to go back to at least the 1940s when very few departments had radios. Or maybe I should rephrase it and say it wasn't that common that they had radios. The first police radio system with a dispatch dates back to 1928, but only one department did it. Others started doing it in the 1930s, but even in the 1940s it wasn't that common. Like I said, it seems like the need to put fingerprints on a car would be a tradition that goes all the way back to the 1940s.
It is certainly far from an important thing to do. It's just not done. Like, I've never even seen it. And I've been a training officer. I've never seen this. If you've seen it, let me know.
But you have seen it. I don't know why you're lying to us. Unless you're trying to cover something up. But what could you possibly be hiding, Mike the Cop, if the cop is your real name?
A ritual is like Satan is sacrificing somebody. A ritual is like a fraternity spanking a new member. I don't know. It's a monk chanting. A ritual is like Satan is sacrificing somebody.
Satanic rituals. And what about these photos of cops doing strange hand gestures? Can anyone out there explain these strange hand gestures?
Hi everyone, Donut here. Spread the word. It's #NotOK. Neo-Nazis are using the OK hand gesture to communicate a hateful message. When using this gesture, the fingers form the letters W and P, which stand for white power. You know, the funniest thing about this whole thing is, it was really popular when Trump was campaigning and shit, is that 4chan made this shit up. 4chan made this up just to see how gullible people were on the internet.
Wait a minute, Donut. If Donut is your real name, you mean to tell me this hand gesture was nothing more than a prank by those lovable, law-abiding, warm-hearted lads at 4chan who managed to raise $50,000 for the Horace Mann School for the Deaf after rigging a poll to get Taylor Swift to perform a concert for deaf kids? Those fine young lads? Sure. It was ultimately Taylor who donated the money as a fuck you to 4chan, but it all worked out. That was 4chan's plan all along. And who more than deaf kids would enjoy a Taylor Swift concert? And these would be the same tech-savvy lads that told us how to do fast recharging of our iPhones by putting them in the microwave. Is it really 4chan's fault that some of these shitty iPhones were defective and melted when recharging in the microwave? I think not. How dare you insult the good name of 4chan? A pox on you, sir! A pox on you! I have informed the leader of Anonymous about your defamatory accusation. and they just gave me a response. They said, "We are anonymous. We are Legion. We have responded to Donut Operator with a video message concerning the slander, libel, and defamation we have received." Well, let's take a look at that video response. You're in hot water now, Donut. Son of a bitch, they rickrolled me. Oh yeah, they also invented the rickroll. You know what? I'm starting to think these guys may not be as credible as I once thought. Okay, so maybe that white power hand gesture is bullshit. But touching the taillight, that's still an unsolved mystery. This video goes out to Mike the Cop. And for all my subscribers, who am I kidding? I got so few subscribers that when I post a video, I don't get people commenting first, I get people commenting only. You know what? Now that I've actually read that out loud, that is stupid. You know what's interesting is, there's a dispute here. The title says, touching the taillight. The video says, tapping the taillight. Come on, Mike. You know you want to tap that taillight. You want to tap it real good. You cops see them sexy taillights? Yeah, I have no idea where the hell I'm going with this.
A ritual is like Satan is sacrificing somebody.
Some of those that work forces
Are the same that worship Satan.
Some of those that work forces
Are the same that worship Satan. Killing in the name of